Irrespective of whether you have already invested in real estate or thinking to invest in German real estate, one thing that can make a big difference in your success as a real estate investor is the knowledge of taxes you have to pay and how you can save them. In this video, I will be discussing one of the tax rules which I think every private real estate investor should know before they sell their first property in Germany. The tax rule we are going to discuss today is the three object limit or drei Objekt Grenze in German. We will see what this tax rule means, when it is applicable, and how it affects your sell decision. Hi everyone, I am Ankit from Master Investment, where we seek to be better investors than before. What is this drei Objekt Grenze? As per this rule, if you have sold 3 or more properties within a period of 5 years, you will automatically be subject to the rules on commercial property trade. So irrespective of a profession, if you buy and sell 3 or more properties within 5 years, you will be considered as a commercial real estate agent and will be subject to the tax regulations accordingly. Which means not only you have to pay tax on the profits you have made by selling the property, but you also have to pay trade tax or Gewerbsteuer in German. In principle, this limit has been created to separate private asset management from commercial trading. Before we check this 3 property rule in detail, one thing you should do as an investor is hit that like button. Okay, with that done, let's check what type of property is considered under threi Objekt Grenze. Any real estate object that can be sold and used independently comes under this rule. The size, value, or type of use of the individual property does not matter. Nor does it matter whether the property is developed or undeveloped, or whether the taxpayer built the property himself or acquired it in a developed state. Therefore, irrespective of whether you sold a house, apartment, garage, garden, or a plot, it can come under threi Objekt Grenze. So what type of properties does not come under threi Objekt Grenze? First type of property is the one that you have used yourself for more than 5 years. Second type of property is the one that you are selling after 10 years. Third and last is the inherited property. Well, slightly different rules applies to inherited properties, which we will also see later in this video. So now we know what type of properties are considered and not considered under three property limit or drei Objekt Grenze. Let's now check this rule in detail. First of all, the 5 years time period is calculated from when you acquired the property to when you sold it. And if this time period is less than 5 years, then your property is considered as an object under threi Objekt Grenze. Again, there may be exceptions or special cases, so I would highly recommend to discuss with your tax advisor if you have any doubts before you sell your property. However, in general, if you sell 3 or more objects within 5 years, then you have to pay income tax if you are a private seller, plus trade tax, or you have to pay corporation tax if you are a corporation, plus trade tax. Please note the taxes that you have to pay is on all the properties, including the previously sold properties. So if you sold a property earlier and didn't pay the trade tax, then you have to pay it now. This is why it is so important to keep this rule in mind before you sell your house in Germany. Here is a flow chart from Finance Ministry of Germany that shows clearly when an object is considered under drei Objekt Grenze. I will post this link in the description down below so you can check it in your free time. Please note, the drei Objekt Grenze rule is not set in stone and it is up to Finanzamt to decide whether the property was commercial or private. For example, if there is already a clear intention to make a profit when you bought a property, then the tax office can classify only 2 sales within 5 years as commercial property trading. So the tax office can reduce the number of objects sold and can also extend the time period of 5 years to any number and will tax you based on drei Objekt Grenze. The scenario that I explained emerged from the judgment by the Munich Finance Court. According to the ruling, the deadlines and the number of transactions are not set in stone for the drei Objekt Grenze, and the tax office can extend the deadline to 10 years if the intention to sell was determined from the start. I'm damn sure that you will now plan not only the purchase of a property but also when and how to sell a property carefully. I would also recommend you to hit the like button if you haven't done yet. So now we understand what drei Objekt Grenze is. Let's check the special cases that applies to it. First special case is the inherited property. As I have explained in my video on taxes on selling a property in Germany, when you inherit a property, you also inherit the donor's features or factors that are used for taxation purpose. For example, whether the donor has carried out commercial real estate trade, or the inherited property was used by the donor for personal use, or the donor has bought the property 10 years ago. All these are the factors that are considered while calculating the tax on the sale of a property in Germany. So as a new owner of the inherited property, you also inherit these features. Therefore, if the donor was already considered a commercial real estate trader by the tax authorities, then if you sell this property, irrespective of whether you are a commercial real estate dealer or not, you will be treated as if you are one. Similarly, if the donor used the property for himself for more than 5 years, then you can sell it tax-free. Another example is if the donor used the property for himself for 2 years, then you used for 3 years and now you decide to sell the property, guess what? You can do that tax-free and this property will not be counted under drei Objekt Grenze. Next special case is with the married couples. Drei Objekt Grenze applies to both spouses separately, which means both husband and wife can sell 2 properties each or 4 properties in total and will not be considered under commercial trade. So next time when you buy a property, buy it individually instead of together. Next is a very popular question: if a property sale is considered commercial, would selling it after 10 years be tax-free? The answer to it is no. If the tax office evaluates a property sale as a commercial trade, then the speculation period of 10 years for a tax-free sale no longer applies, which means the profits from the sale are taxable regardless of the holding period of the property. Another special scenario which one should check before selling a property, keeping drei Objekt Grenze in mind, is selling an apartment with garden. In this case, make sure whether apartment and garden are sold together or separately in the purchase contract. If they are sold separately, then each of them will be considered as an object under drei Objekt Grenze, which you do not want. There are many such scenarios, therefore always consult your tax advisor before you make a decision of selling your property. I think now you know a bit more about real estate investment in Germany. I have also created a master investors community where we discuss about real estate, stocks, crypto, and everything related to investment and life in Germany. You can know more about the community and what we do in this community by clicking the join button below. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'm pretty sure that you have hit that like button already.